The late summer hush in the Miami bungalow shatters when Blanche opens a certified letter from an eccentric cousin in Atlanta. She expects the usual invitation to a cotillion or spa weekend. Instead, the legal envelope declares she has inherited just $30,000. But there's a catch sharp enough to fillet optimism. To receive the money, Blanche must agree to become lifelong guardian of Baby, the cousin's cherished child. The paperwork is deliberately coy, referring to Baby only as a dependable soul who relishes corn and fresh air. Blanche, already picturing a handsome teenager in need of southern refinement, signs the acceptance form on the spot, chirping to the girls that riches have finally knocked politely at their door. The celebration is immediate and unfiltered. Dorothy tallies roofing estimates they can finally afford. Rose brainstorms donations for an orphan moose sanctuary in St. Olaf. And Sophia pops the cork on a dusty bottle of Asti Spumante she calls Plan B champagne. But the party air turns wary when the delivery company phones to confirm a climate-controlled stall will be needed on arrival. Blanche blinks twice, then assures everyone it's simply an overprotective phrase for a child's bassinet. Sophia narrows her eyes. No bassinet ever required ventilation fans powerful enough to baffle jet engines. 2 days later, an 18-wheeler pulls up to the curb, its trailer emblazoned with a frolicking hog in a top hat. The ramp lowers to reveal Baby, a gargantuan, snorting, 200-pound hog wearing a satin bow. Blanche's shriek echoes into the next zip code, while the delivery driver insists she sign for one porcine ward in excellent health. Dorothy clutches her temples. Rose falls instantly in love, cooing that Baby's eyelashes remind her of St. Olaf's Harvest Queen swine. Sophia mutters that the only harvest they'll see is a bumper crop of bacon and vet bills. Baby's arrival detonates domestic normalcy. He claims the lanai as his kingdom, uprooting Blanche's prized orchids to make a mud spa. At breakfast, he slurps coffee from Sophia's mug and headbutts the refrigerator until Dorothy surrenders an entire watermelon. Blanche tries reasoning with him in her softest belle drawl, but Baby responds by nudging her into the pool. Money or not, the girls realize they have become unwitting contestants on a game show called How Long Can You Live with a Pig? Blanche embarks on Operation Relocation, calling every farm, petting zoo, and children's carnival within 50 miles. No one wants an aging hog with gourmet tastes. Desperation pushes her to list Baby in a very special situations classified ad, offering a generous dowry of homemade pecan pies alongside the pig. Rose objects on moral grounds, insisting Baby deserves affection, not abandonment. Her ideal solution? Integrate him into the family routine. She sews an XXL apron so Baby can help in the kitchen and drafts a chore chart that assigns him window snout cleaning duties. Meanwhile, Sophia senses an entrepreneurial opportunity. She recalls Sicilian street fairs where trained pigs fetched fortune teller tips and imagines selling tickets to porcine psychic readings. The pilot session sees Baby lumbering onto a velvet-draped chaise while Sophia interprets his grunts as investment advice. Dorothy, playing skeptical stage manager, asks one test question about next week's lotto numbers. Baby answers by relieving himself on Sophia's prop crystal ball, abruptly ending the prototype and any notion of porcine profit. Tensions spike when the city's HOA president, Mrs. Claxton, appears with a clipboard and a scowl worthy of regulatory purgatory. She cites a zoning bylaw that forbids livestock within neighborhood limits. The penalty is a $500 daily fine or forced removal. Blanche pleads for leniency, batting eyelashes like windshield wipers on high setting. But Mrs. Claxton remains unmoved. The girls have 48 hours to relocate baby or face ruinous fees that would devour the entire inheritance. A late-night emergency summit convenes around the kitchen table. Dorothy proposes renting a rural plot. Blanche balks at the cost. Rose suggests turning the living room into a legal urban farmstead, complete with straw bales and educational tours for schoolchildren. Sophia counters that unless those children come with gold-plated wallets, they'll still be broke. The argument crescendos until a thunderous crash interrupts. Baby has flattened the closet door, exposing Blanche's hidden stash of designer heels, which he proceeds to sample as chew toys. The message is clear: solve the housing crisis or lose both dollars and stilettos. Just before the deadline, a small miracle arrives in the form of Brother Martin, a gentle Franciscan monk who spots the classified ad. He runs a rescue sanctuary outside Tampa, specializing in creatures deemed inconvenient by the modern world. Brother Martin arrives in a beat-up van decorated with hand-painted saints and hay poking through the windows. He treats baby like a VIP, whispering prayers in Latin while offering organic apple slices. Blanche hesitates. Relinquishing custody means forfeiting the inheritance, but Dorothy points out that a roof paid for with misery would leak guilt forever. With a trembling sigh, Blanche signs over guardianship to the monk and kisses baby's muddy snout goodbye. That afternoon, the girls watch the sanctuary van depart, feeling both lighter and strangely emptier. Rose waves until the taillights vanish, her eyes shimmering with tears she claims are just pig dust allergies. Blanche retreats to her room, ostensibly to mourn her lost fortune, but really to hide the unexpected ache blooming in her chest. Sophia says nothing, simply draping an afghan over Blanche's shoulders, the closest she'll ever come to offering a formal condolence for a porcine breakup. Days later, an envelope arrives from Brother Martin. Inside is a photo of baby frolicking in a grassy meadow, along with a handwritten note explaining that Blanche's cousin secretly earmarked $5,000 for charity if baby found a loving farm. Brother Martin donated it in Blanche's name to a Miami homeless shelter kitchen, now serving hot meals seasoned with gratitude. Enclosed is also a modest reimbursement check, just enough to patch the bungalow roof and replace Blanche's annihilated heels. The episode ends on the lanai beneath newly repaired shingles. The girls share cheesecake, substituting strawberries with a decorative marzipan pig, and toast to unexpected joys. Blanche admits that, inheritance or not, baby reminded her that love sometimes arrives wearing hoofs and tracking mud across marble tile. Dorothy replies that true wealth has less to do with bank accounts and more with knowing when to let go. Sophia, fork poised, concludes that if another animal ever darkens their door, it better lay golden eggs. Otherwise, it's heading straight to Brother Martin's farm. Laughter drifts into the warm Miami evening, sealing another chapter in their comedic, chaotic sisterhood.